Hey, what's up? This is Orlando Stewart back with another video. As promised, I said I was going to be reviewing this, and here it is. People Magazine presents Celebrate the 90s. The stars, the fads, the moments you will never forget. Forwarded by Roseanne Barr. Now, without further ado, we'll show you the front. Now, there's one thing. Yes, there's everybody on here. Everybody's on the front, but there's just one thing that's missing. There's no mention of Power Rangers in this book whatsoever. And how can you talk about the 90s without mentioning Power Rangers? Power Rangers was a very big part of the 90s. It was a very big part of us, us 90s kids' childhood. How can you talk about the 90s without mentioning Power Rangers? That's the only thing that's missing on the front of here. And, show you the side right there. Not much on the side. Show you the back. Right there. How much synopsis right there. And, yeah, it talks about grunge and it talks about the grunge movement. O.J. Simpson, Macaulay Culkin, everything. But there's just one thing that's, just like I said, there's just one thing that's missing from this book. There's no mention of Power Rangers in here. Amongst all things that were out in the 90s, I was expecting them to mention Power Rangers, and there's just no Power Rangers in this book. And there's the Celebrate the 90s right there. Right there. Table of contents. Right there. And they do mention Jurassic Park in here and everything. They do mention the music that was out at that time, but not a lot of it. And, let's just go to the, here's the introduction. There's Roseanne Barr right there. '90s fashion. They didn't mention a lot about '90s fashion. They're just showing the dresses that a lot of the actors wore right there. Stuff like that. A lot of the celebrities wore stuff. And they talk about, they don't mention that much about grunge. They only mention about what they were wearing during the 90s and during the grunge movement and stuff like that. But they don't mention that much. Now, this is a long book, so I'm not going to be able to show you everything. I got this off of eBay last year. It's all about Cindy Crawford and all of them and everything. The 90s fashions. There's George Clooney, which I know how people feel about his Batman and stuff like that. They talk about the hairstyles and stuff like that. And, the trends. The trends and stuff like that. Now, yes, they mentioned Pokemon, but don't talk too much about it. That was the only thing. I was expecting them to also go, I wish this book was a little bit done better. And, yeah, it talks about all the trends and stuff that was out at the time. Beanie Babies and stuff. TV shows and everything. There's Seinfeld right there. Talks about the TV shows and stuff that were out at the time, but there's no mention of Power Rangers. There's Northern Exposure right there. Show they used to come on Fox. There's Beverly Hills 90210. There's Shannon Dorothy right there. Ally McBeal. No Power Rangers, but they do mention Boy Meets World, though. They do mention Boy Meets World. But I am glad that they do mention that show. That's another one of my favorites from the 90s. They do mention Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in this book. See right there. Will Smith and all the rest of the cast. Twin Peaks. Right there. But no mention of anything else. No mention of Power Rangers. And they don't even mention Rugrats or any other of the shows that were out back in the 90s. I mean, how can you forget about Power Rangers and stuff? How can you forget about that? I mean, how? How can you talk about the 90s without mentioning... Yeah, they mentioned that Ren and Stimpy somewhat in here, but not that much. And then they have the movies and stuff like that that they mention. Right there, they talk about that. As you see right there, it's Titanic. There's James Cameron. Right there. Clueless, 1995. Everybody remembers that movie. Forrest Gump. They talk about the movies and stuff like that. Pretty Woman. Scream from 1996. Waiting to Exhale. American Pie. Mention all the movies from the 90s. Pulp Fiction, the most remembered ones. And yes, I did a review on this movie, Jurassic Park. I did a review on this movie a while back. And Reality Bites. Yeah, they mentioned... Yeah, Toy Story, they didn't even talk about that movie in this book, but they just mentioned the quotes. They just brought up the quotes and stuff like that. I apologize, I do have a cold. If you hear me sniffling a lot. Then they talk about the music and stuff like that. Stuff that was out at the time and everything. Boy bands, rap music and everything. The music that was popular during that time period. Music back in the 90s is so... The music from back in the 90s is so much better than the crap that's out now. And, I'm not going to show you everything in the book. Because this is a very long book and I don't want to make the video too long. So just get through a couple of things. There's Jenny Jones. Sister. Of everything is in the book. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this review that I did. Remember to like my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to live life, live nostalgia. Peace. I'm out.